Alright, so this is the last video in the review packet. We're going to do the last page, obviously. Yeah, so number 40 is from Unit 3, Lesson 4, which was triangles. I'm going to show you the triangle exterior angle theorem, but then I'm going to show you that there's another way of doing this one. An exterior angle, this 106 out here is an exterior angle. It's the sum of the two angles that it's not attached to. So the equation is 61 plus x equals 106. Subtract, you get, should I have a calculator ready? Sorry. What is that? I'm trying to do my head here. 40 something. 45. So that's one way of getting it. You could have also done 180 minus 106 to get this number here, which was 74, and then 61 plus 74 plus x, and you would still get 45. Okay. Number 41 is from Unit 5. We're doing similarity. So 5, and it's saying what is the measure of angle B? Okay, so it's actually Unit 5, Lesson 3. You could also almost say Unit 3, Lesson 4. But with similar triangles, we know that all the angles are congruent. So angle U is the same as angle R, so 38. Angle Q is equal to angle T, so that's 59. So angle V is equal to angle S. Well, we can find angle S by doing 180 minus those two added up. So 38 plus 59 is 97. 180 minus 97 is 83. So angle S equals 83 degrees. So if angle S is 83, then angle B is also angle 83. Because they're equal. Right? 42, find the midpoint. So that's Unit 1, Lesson 5. I think it was 5. But anyway, midpoint is just the average of the x's and the average of the y's. So the average of the x's, I'm just going to take 2 plus negative 10 and divide it by 2. So that's negative 8 divided by 2. So negative 4 is the average of the two x values. And then the average of the y's is 9 plus 7 divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. So the midpoint is negative 4, 8. And number 43, Unit 3, Lesson 4. It's just saying that in any triangle, the angles add up to 180. X should be pretty easy. 50 plus 59 is 109, and then 180 minus 109 is 71, so x is 71. Y, you see how x and y together make a line, so that angle plus that angle is 180. So if that's 71, y is 109. 180 minus 71 is 109. And then z, if I have 109 and 29, z is just 180 minus 29 minus 109. So 42. Okay. Number 44, an isosceles triangle has a vertex angle of 28 degrees. What is the measure of one base angle in a triangle? So that is Unit 4, Lesson 6, isosceles triangle theorem. The vertex angle is the one that's the angle that's made by the two congruent sides. So if these are my two congruent sides, this is my vertex angle. So that's 28. These two are equal because of isosceles triangle theorem. Well, if those are equal, I can say they're x because we don't know either one, but there's two of them, and I can get that equation. So 28 plus 2x, subtract 28, you get 152, I believe. Yeah. And then divide by 2. And one of the base angles would be 76 degrees. Okay. Find the geometric mean of 2 and 6. So geometric mean was talked about in Unit 5, Lesson 4. The geometric mean of 2 and 6 is just 2 over x equals x over 6. Cross multiply, you get x squared equals 12. Square root 12 is 2 radical 3. Technically, it's plus or minus 2 radical 3, but we'll just go, yeah. The number's the important part. 46. What is the converse of the following conditional? So converses was unit 2 less than 2. If a point is in the first quadrant, then its coordinates are positive. Okay, so if a point's coordinates are positive, you're basically switching the hypothesis and conclusion here, then it's in the first quadrant. And that is the converse. 47, find the values of the variables. You could do this a couple different ways, but I'll say it's isosceles triangle theorem again. I see I have an isosceles triangle, the whole thing, triangle ABC is isosceles, which means these two angles here are congruent. Wow, that's really hard to see right. Oh, that's a Y, okay. So if that's 52, then this over here is 52. But if those are both 52 and those are equal, then I can find x. This is also x over here, right? So 52 plus 52 plus 2 x's equals 180. So 180 minus 104. So 2x equals 76. So x equals 38. But if x equals 38, now I can find y just doing 180 minus 52 minus 38. I get y equals 90. You want to produce a scale drawing of your living room, which is 15 feet by 24 feet. If you use a scale of 2 inches to 3 feet, what will be the dimensions of your scale drawing? This was unit 5 lesson 1. So I get the scale of 2 inches to 3 feet. It's going to help me set up my proportion. I'm given the actual dimensions, so that's the feet part. So 15 feet is going to go here. And we're going to change feet to inches. We're going to do it again with the other dimension. So that's the length and that's the width. We can solve both of those pretty simply. So 3x equals 30, x equals 10. 3y equals 48, y equals 16. So it's 10 inches by 16 inches would be the scale drawing. Find the distance between the points. This is unit 1, lesson 5, distance formula. The distance formula is the square root of all this, and it's just the difference in the x's squared. So it doesn't really matter the direction you go. So 4 minus 2 squared plus the difference in the y's. So 9 minus 4 squared. And it says to the nearest tenth, so let's do this real quick. So 2 squared plus 5 squared. So 2 squared is 4, 5 squared is 25. So this is the square root of 29, which is 5.4. That's the distance between those 2 points. Okay, find the value of x. This is dealing with, again, isosceles triangle theorem. So 4, 6. Isosceles triangle, that means these two angles here, angle R and angle STR are congruent. So that's 2x minus 60. But then what I see is those two angles right there add up and make a line. So it's going to be 2x minus 60 plus 8x equals 180. So 10x minus 60, 10x equals 240, x equals 24. True or false, the circumcenter is equidistant from the vertices of a triangle. That's unit 6, lesson 4, and that is true. The circumcenter is equidistant to the vertices of the triangle, or the angles of the triangle. True or false, two planes intersect at a point. That is unit 1, lesson 1. That is false. Two planes intersect at a line. Okay, find the perimeter of triangle ABC, round to the nearest tenth. So this is unit 1, lesson 6. You're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem here to find this distance, or you could use the distance formula if you want. I'm going to do the Pythagorean theorem because I know it's a right angle. But this is 4 this is 5. So 4 squared plus 5 squared equals AC squared. So 16 plus 25. 41 equals AC squared. Square root of 41 to the nearest tenth is 6.4 plus 4 plus 5. Your perimeter is 15.4. Okay. Backside, which is not skew. So this is Unit 1, Lesson 2, Skew Lines, is not skewed to VU, so VU is here. UY is not skew. UY intersects. So if they intersect, they're not skew. SW is skew, not parallel, but it's also not intersecting. TX, again, not parallel, not intersecting. WZ, WZ, oh, WZ, I was looking at WX. WZ is not intersecting, but it's also not parallel. So A is the right answer here. Okay, measure of angle 3 is 137. Find the measures of each of those. This is just looking at angle pairs, which was Unit 2, Lesson 5. Those are 1 and 3 are vertical, so angle 1 is 137. Angle 2 and 4 are equal. They have to be because they're vertical, but I don't know what they are. But I do know that 2 plus 3 is 180, so 180 minus 137 is 43. So both of these are 43. 56, RST. So RST, so this angle up here is 2x plus 16. SRT, so that's this angle here, is 5x. And STU is 8x. Find the value of x. So this is Unit 3, Lesson 4. You have to use triangle inequality, or sorry, not triangle inequality, triangle exterior angle theorem. I cannot find this angle because I don't know what x is. So I have to say that 8x, the exterior angle, is equal to the sum of these two. So 2x plus 5x is 7x plus 16. Subtract x, 7x, you get x equals 16. That's what we wanted. Done. Find the value of x. This is the Polygon angle sum theorem. So that's Unit 3, Lesson 5, which says n minus 2 times 180. Well, n is how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 times 180 is, I think, 900. Yep. So there's 900 degrees total in here. So I'm just going to add everything up. So I'm just going to add up those numbers in the calculator real quick. Almost done. I get 770 for those all added up, plus x equals 900. So subtract 770, x equals 130. Classify the triangle by its sides and angles. So this 70 degrees here helps because I can find that this over here is 70 degrees, which means 70 plus 70 is 140, which means this up here is 40. So the angles are all acute, right? So these are all acute. So this is an acute triangle by angles, and it is isosceles by sides. So classifying was Unit 3, Lesson 4, but we did a lot of other units in there too. But yeah, that's the main one that was from. Okay, 59. The measure of the base angles of an isosceles triangle are 4 times larger than the measure of the vertex angle. What is the measure of each angle of the triangle? Again, isosceles triangle. So the measure of it, I'm going to draw this one out. Oops. So my base angles are B and C here. The measure of a base angle is 4 times larger than the measure of the vertex angle. So we'll say x is the vertex angle. The base angle is 4 times larger, which means C is also 4 times larger. So if I add all that up, 4x plus 4x plus x should add up to 180. So that's 9x equals 180, x equals 20. So the measure of each angle would be 20 degrees here. Both of those would be 80 degrees. match the point of concurrency with the corresponding lines. So this was Unit 6, Lesson 4. Just got done with this. The circumcenter is where the perpendicular bisectors meet, so this one's D. The incenter is where the angle bisectors meet, so this one's C. The orthocenter is where the altitudes, and the centroid is where the medians. Okay, this one's Unit 1, Lesson 3, segment addition postulate. This plus this equals the whole thing of 16. So 3x plus 2 is 5x minus 10 equals 16. 8x minus 8 equals 16. 8x equals 24, x equals 3, and we're done with that one. Identify the hypothesis and conclusion of the conditional statement. The hypothesis is you are from Indiana. Notice it does not include if. This is the hypothesis. The conclusion is you are not a Hoosier. That's the conclusion. And that was Unit 2, Lesson 2. Done with that one. 63. A few more problems here. Find the measure of TQM. So TQM, so this one right here is 2x minus 9. We want to find x and plug it in. This is actually angle addition postulate, which was Unit 1, Lesson 4. I see that the whole thing is 90. So this plus this has to equal 90. I guess that's also Unit 2, Lesson 5, which looked at complementary angles. So these two angles are actually complementary since they add up to 90. So 5x minus 5 equals 90. 5x equals 95. X equals 19. Now I got to plug that in to find angle TQM. So 2 times 19 is 38. 38 minus 9 is 29 degrees. 64, the length of one side of a regular pentagon is 4 feet. What is the perimeter of the pentagon? So this is dealing with the idea of a regular, which was Unit 3, Lesson 5. Regular polygons just mean all the sides are the same length. All the angles are the same. So if one of them is 4 feet and a pentagon has 5 sides, 4 times 5, the perimeter will be 20 feet. Last one is a proof. Fill in the missing reasons. So proofs, we're trying to prove that. This is Unit 4, Lesson 5, CPCTC. That's given that both of those sets of lines are parallel. So this is parallel to this, and this is parallel to this. Angle ADB is congruent to angle CBD. So ADB, CBD. And then ABD is congruent to CDB. And that is alternate interior angles theorem. DB is congruent to itself. That's a reflexive property. The triangles are now congruent because of angle, side angle. And then those sides are congruent because of CPCTC. So hopefully these videos helped. It should, if you did this review, it should help you for the final. But good luck.